I thought we'd work on the reloading bench today. I have a Lee Pro 1000 here, and currently has a 9mm setup in it. I wasn't going to switch it until I ran some more 9s, but I've got a lot of 45s prepped, and I'm out. So we're going to change over the die. I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see or not see. I'm trying to get the best angle, and hopefully we can get some footage here. Let's see if I can get that in the camera a little better. Alright, there we go. So the first thing we've got to do is take the 9mm die out, as well as the powder dump and everything else. So, first thing I'm going to do is take out a bottle of Bullseye. And that's a new one, so we want to get another one. That feels like this one may be less full. Sweet. So this die's got to come out, and I have these on fast, I don't know what you call them. At any rate, I've got my dies mounted to the bottom plate here, and what I can do with those is just replace the whole die set at one time, which makes it convenient. I'm going to take off the powder dump and set it aside for a little bit, because it's not needed until I put it on the next die set. So we're going to just set this aside. And I was a little premature on getting my powder out. I don't need that either right now. So what we have to do is get the tools to take the die apart. We're going to be changing just about everything. So let's see here. First thing I want to do is locate my wrench. There we go. And I want to remove the guide in the back. This is set up for 9mm, and 45 ACP will not fit in here. So let's see. Alright, so that's out. And this is going to be too tall as well. And this is the pusher that pushes the casings along the track. And I'm looking for a screwdriver. These tweezers may do. And what you want to do is get this out. Just like that. And take this piece out. And that's the guide. I'm not going to need that. So the next thing is we've got to loosen up the base down here. And there's a Allen wrench that goes someplace here. Let's see. I can remember where it's at. There she is right there. It's been quite a while since I've changed this over. It's almost like learning each time to do it again. And that's not the right size. Well, I'm not very well prepared. Should have all my Allen wrench stuff right here. There it is. That should be the one. Yeah, so you loosen that up. And then what I like to do is to get it pretty darn loose. And it's a little bit of a tight fit. Plus having that light just blaring down on me doesn't help. So I'm going to put my wrench down here, and that would help Let me just knock that out. Alright, come on, baby. I need a little bit more height. So we're going to take and put that there. And there it comes loose. So we've got that out now. So what we got to do now is we take out the rod right here. And then you've got a little tiny pin that's been held in place right here with a Phillips head screwdriver that's got to come off in order to change the die. And then this is what is the fun part. Well, I don't seem to have the right Allen wrench for this either. Man, I'm not very well prepared today. What a slacker, right? That's not going to work. What a joke. Alright, so while I'm looking for that, let's see. I'm going to have to get another tool. I'll be right back. Yeah, I got lucky. So, you've got to remove these two pieces. I know I'm not getting you good angles on this, but I'm putting this down in here, and that's going to give me the ability to turn it, but you're going to have to put something in the hole to keep the whole mechanism from turning. So I'm going to stick an Allen wrench down in there to hold it while I try to bust it apart. And it's always a challenge. Don't know why it's a challenge, but it is. Okay, I cut away for a few minutes. This thing was a pain in the rear end to get out, but we've got it out now. I really didn't want to do this die change. I've been putting it off literally for months. So I got the shoe out, and that's basically all we're trying to do is get this little piece out in order to facilitate the other sides. So now I've got to go to the 45 ACP, which I believe is a number 2, and I'm going to use a casing just to verify. And I am right. It's a number 2 shoe. So we're going to put that back in here, and you just go the opposite way. This thing goes counterclockwise to get off, and clockwise to put back on. And then we'll just reverse the whole process as I get it turned all the way down. Once we get it to a point, I'll drop my Allen wrench back inside again, and I'll take the one and just get it good and tight, counterclockwise. And there we go. So we're going to put this in first, run it from the bottom. There we go. That's much better. It's coming back to me. Alright, so we got that all pressed down. Tighten up that screw again. We're almost home free now. Good and tight. Alright, so the next thing is the die set. 45 ACP, which is right here. I take out the powder dump. Again, I'm struggling because this light's right in my eye. Turn it and lock it. That puts that in. Now you can see that this isn't turning exactly as it should. It's off kilter a little bit. So they got an adjustment screw on the side here. And you just put your screwdriver in there. And you're going to adjust until you get it to clock correctly. See, it's turning, but it's not right where it should be. So you get in there and you mess with it. Still off. See if that does it. Getting closer with each stroke. Alright, so we go up, down, it's even closer. And this takes the most part of the time, is getting it to clock correctly. See how we're even closer this time? And you just turn the screw clockwise. Alright, up, down, up, down. It's just about there. Let's see. Another quarter. Alright. See how it's clocking almost correctly? It's off just a tad. Actually, it's kicking in now. That's still off just a little bit. And you don't want any feeding problems when you're doing this. That's perfect now. Alright, so we have the 45 ACP tray in. We're going to put back the 38 super tray. Get it out of our way for now. Alright, so now we need the shoe, which is a short little stubby one. And we need the larger diameter for the 45 ACP. This is for the other size. Doesn't look like much, but it is. And where's my 45 ACP push? This could be it. Nope, way too tall. Way too tall. I think this is it right here. Whoops. Yeah. So here's the 45 ACP pusher. So this is a little bit of an aggravating thing to put on. You're going to want to slide the shoe on. Then you got to get it up in the hole up here on the little spring active thing, which I cannot see because of that light. But let's see. Alright, that's in. And then you got to put it in a hole. There's two holes here. There's a front and a back. And I'm going to put it in the back one first. And that looks like it's going to be perfect. So that's back in the way it should be. That's actually great. Alright, so I'm going to put the powder dump back on. Well, I say that. I'm about to mess you guys up. The powder dump does have to be emptied because the tray has got to be changed down here. I use the Lee tray system, and it does not, well, it works great is the thing. It takes the measuring out of it, but when you initially set up your loads and do all this, you're going to want to make sure and weigh them and that they're going to come out the way they should. So I've got to take this one apart and change the shoe in it, which all you do is undo the screws. I only undo one side generally. So I've got that coming off, and as you can see, the shoe just lifts right up. So I go to my guide next, which I printed up 100,000 years ago. And I'll give you guys a closer look at that. This is all my loads that I've developed over the years. The sheet's first edition came out on October 31st, 1998. The last time I revised it was 2007. So 45 ACP for 200 grain bullet using bullseye powder is 4.2 grains. It's going to be die number 0.46. So I'm going to be looking for 0.46 out of my dies. And as you can see, I've got tons of them. So let's see, we're looking for 4.6. And these are pretty big rifle dies. And there's 4.6. So what you got to do next is make sure that you get the 4.6 in the right orientation on this. So what you're going to want to do is, it's got to go in the hole. Let's see if I can get this in the camera. Yeah, this hole right here is where that die needs to wind up when it's open position. So it's pretty easy to just put in, and it slides back and forth. You got to just make sure it's in the groove, and that's perfect. So I'm going to put this piece back on and screw in the screw. Pretty excited I'm going ahead and getting this done. I've been putting this off forever. And I love shooting my 1911s better than any of the other guns. So I've been a slacker. So we're going to remount this to the top. Alright, so we're going to put the powder dump back in its proper position. Again, I don't have to worry about setting the die up on this in terms of, not the die, but measuring the powder, because I know that it's in the right orientation. So when this comes up, when there's a casing in there, it's going to push this up. And let's see here. We're going to put a casing in just to show you. So as the casing goes up, it goes inside the thing, and watch it push this up. And I can see the 4.6 is in the right orientation, so we don't have to worry about that. That also expands the bullet at the same time. It facilitates it to have a little bulge out at the top to accept the bullet itself. So I'm going to take a moment here to clean up what I've done, and then we'll come back and we'll do some reloading.